Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals take on Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in uptown Charlotte. A short time ago, a scene that never fails to stir up the folks here in Charlotte. Cam Newton strutting his way onto the field. His guys are fired up as they get set to go toe-to-toe with the Cincinnati Bengals. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. It's an early test here after 2 losses to start the season, and a game they probably really need.
Obviously, no way do they want to get to 0-3. Not many teams make the playoffs with that kind of a start.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, and none other than Cam Newton.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
Now a play fake here on first down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
Newton on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now Newton. Got his target, Samuel. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Brooke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different completion.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Andrew Billings. Busting throw to get him for a loss of 6.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old man is a very, very fickle man.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. He was a 3rd-round pick, not rounds 1 or 2, but this franchise, they think he can be something with time.
There were a few teams that thought he would go in the 1st round, late in the 1st round. He ends up sliding to the 3rd, so a lot of teams think now maybe this group got a steal. They've got a chance to have a really good player here if he can develop.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head.
Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And careless. With a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 26. Passing, it's Dalton. And he fires one that's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now a 1st down throw for Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep a defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping.
On the run, Darkwan able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. The ball's out, McCaffrey lost it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Panthers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Now, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals draw even, and of course they can take the lead if they hit the extra point. Of course, he's fresh off the Offensive Player of the Week in the AFC, and what a game it was last week, and a long touchdown run right there.
He and his offensive line, the receivers blocking downfield, they're all in sync right now. Could carry him to a 2nd straight Player of the Week award.
Bullock good on the extra point, and they take the lead here at 7-6. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. They've been settling quite a bit. They've been able to move the football some, but they've just been settling. That's one of the reasons they're down on the scoreboard.
I love that word you picked, settling, because nowadays in this NFL, you're thinking touchdown almost every drive because everything's so hot.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run with Darkwan. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Newton to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And the tight end Olsen, right side. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Bengals have recovered it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Now Joe Mixon. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, and we have now arrived at the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
To the left side here for Eifert. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. A first down throw coming for Dalton. And that'll be incomplete.
Now you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Green with a catch left side. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Hey, get ready for something coming left. Hey, get ready for something coming left.
2nd down, Dalton. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
4 down. That's it. 180.
Now Darkwa. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the... And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. A big play there for Cincinnati. 52 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Over here.
So Dalton now. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This fielded at the 2. Oh, nice move. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Newton to Olsen there for a Carolina first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, there in coverage.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Then he gets it to Funchess complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a first down on that last catch as well. Here's Darkwan. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. Newton now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Newton. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there?
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Jordan Evans. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, surprise, surprise. 1st and goal at the 1. No quarterback sneak. No running play. They decide to throw for it, but the pressure got to him quickly and put the quarterback down.
It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. A shotgun snap for Newton. This will be caught at about the 5. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging. Little tap.
And he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. Carl Lawson with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Lawson, the 4th-round pick out of Auburn.
I think it's safe to say, partner, that he was one of the steals of the draft last year. A lot of injury concerns. That pushed him to the 4th round before he was selected.
And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They begin with a run by Mixon, fighting him off. He's got room to run past the 20. He's at the 50. He's at the 30, 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. 93 yards. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. So their backs were against the wall, deep back in their own territory, and they run it all the way down into the end zone.
That takes a lot of coordination for an offensive team, doesn't it? Because, let's face it, it's really not a surprise that they're going to run the ball in that situation. Backed up that close to their own end zone, usually do call running plays, trying to be safe. Instead, it turns into an electrical run, a bolt for your team, and off he goes to the races.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. He gets it to Thomas. And he's able to get up here to the 26. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And caught left side, Olsen. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Dalton, 1st and 10. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, you need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, and he's got him in the lead. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. To throw is Newton. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 36. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here's Dalton. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run with Mixon, and he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Once again, they run with Mixon, shedding through the defense. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there. 22 yards. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and the lead will swell by one more. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. He has really been buoyed here by a strong running attack. They've been great on the ground.
And have enjoyed the entire process because oftentimes when you're running the football well, that's much more of a team effort. Everyone has to come together to make it work. Offensive line, wide receivers, the tight ends when they're on the field, maybe an extra running back leading. It is a really nice thing to see, a team type of thing. And guess what? The quarterback, he can get out of the locker room a whole lot faster after this game. The interviewers are going to go to the running back.
Yeah, now we hit the home stretch here in the fourth with their lead. Right back to him on first down. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
93, 52, 93, 44.
It's second down. Dalton looking. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And he fires one incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head. Not be a Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And that will get out of bounds. Lucky there. They keep possession inside the 5.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defense. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Here's Newton. Funches with a catch over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Newton on first down. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey, and he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Ready? 180.
Again, Newton. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Out of the gun, Newton. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Gano the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. This is taken at his 4. Ooh, the juke. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Easy.
They'll run with Mixon. And an alley to run. The 40. The 30. 10. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play. So it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top. One of the fun parts about working with you is that we've learned that there are different ways to do things than the way we were brought up to do them. This is Madden. Of course they were going to go ahead and get another score. What do you mean take a knee?
And that just makes the final margin even more lopsided. I think they earned themselves a cold drink from the fridge, right?
There's no doubt about it.
Some pretzels, too, some hummus. Go crazy.
See, we've learned.
Go crazy.
We have learned the Madden way of doing things.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.